I am in Porto, Portugal, and today I'm gonna find the coolest guitar that they have in this whole city. Come on, let's go. So one of the things I want to do in this channel is check out different guitar stores. I think it's fun to check out guitar stores. I haven't done a lot of it, but I hope to do a lot more of it. So when I'm in a country or a city or a specific state, I like to check to see if they have locally made guitars. And specifically, where I'm at right now on my guitar journey, electric guitars, cool electric guitars. Perhaps someday I'll be into the acoustic guitars, but for right now, it's electric guitars. So in Portugal, I did a search and I could not find any electric guitars that are created here in Portugal. Now, there might be, but I wasn't finding any. Now, part of the problem might be that I speak only English and perhaps I'm searching only in English and these searches don't correlate. Maybe I should have searched in Portuguese. Maybe I should, the video is not posted yet. I could just search. Okay, I did a Google search using the Portuguese language. And yes, I did actually find some electric guitars that are created here in Portugal. In fact, this guitar company looks like it makes really cool guitars. There are guitars made in Portugal though. They're the Guitara Portuguesa, I think is how you say it. And they were first invented back in the 13th century. So they've been making and playing these guitars for a long time. And they're a key part of the fado music, a traditional music in Portugal. And I actually had a chance to check out some fado music. Music is a big thing here in Portugal and in Porto. And this I thought was the coolest. So let's get to the guitar store. Ludi Music or Luddy Music. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that was a guitar store I checked out. I thought it was interesting that it seemed like in their display that it's like there's this 50s theme with guitars in terms of the colors of the guitars. So I thought in this video, I'd try to find guitars that kind of fit that theme, I guess. Two of the three guitars I tried to see which one is the coolest very much have that 50s vintage feel to it, specifically because of their colors. The first guitar I chose was this one. This one popped at me the most. It gave me a 50s vibe, I guess. And it was from a brand I'm not familiar with, Electro. And all the guitars I chose were under the $1,000 mark. It was a little tough to really get a feel for these guitars because I had to try the guitars out in the open, out on the showroom floor. I'm still at the point where I'm still a little like, I don't know if I want anybody to hear this and I don't want it to be too loud. And then there's like trying to play something and, screwing up and stuff. I'm worried about that stuff, but I do feel the tide turning a little bit, and that might be, I'm getting a little bit more confident playing, and I'm also like, hey, you gotta get used to playing in front of people. Doing this channel is helping me put it out there. I did the best I could. The second guitar I chose was a Telecaster. I've actually never played a Telecaster before. They seem like a cool guitar. In let's say I went to a guitar store that didn't have a lot of guitars and I was in the mood for a Stratocaster, but they didn't have a Stratocaster and they had a Telecaster and I really wanted a guitar, I would buy a Telecaster. They just, I think it looks cool and it's definitely been a guitar that's been around a long time and a lot of people play it. So I thought I should give it a try. The third guitar I wanted to try was an Epiphone. I've heard that they're crap by some people, and I thought, well, I should give one a try. And this one right here had the look of, the color is a 50s color, and I thought, well, this is the one I'll try. And I think this was the least expensive guitar of the 3 guitars I tried. It was interesting. The Epiphone was the lightest guitar I've ever played. I've noticed my shoulder gets a bit sore if my guitar is super heavy, and I've been standing, playing for a while. So maybe a really light guitar isn't a bad idea. So when I try out these guitars, certainly by the third guitar, I'm warmed up and I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable playing where I'm playing. So I try to take that into account when I judge which one I think is the coolest guitar. And I'm gonna let you know at the end of the video which one I thought was the coolest guitar. But now we have to go through the ranking. How do I rank this guitar store? These are the things I rank guitar stores by. First thing on my checklist. Are there lots of guitars? I'm gonna give this place a check. Next on my list, good variety. I felt that this guitar store had a good variety of guitars for me. Now, as I, check out more and more guitar stores, I feel my opinions are going to change, and what I might think is good now might not be good in 6 months. But where I'm at right now in my guitar journey, I thought this was a good store that had good variety. Did they have unique guitars? Yes, the Dan Electro. That's all I needed. To me, that was unique. Next on the list, do they have private testing rooms for playing the guitar? I didn't see them here. I'm gonna give them an X on this, but I should say they did have the room of the really fancy guitars that had a spot for testing the guitars out, but it seemed like you had to be really playing the really special guitars to be able to practice in there. Now, if I wasn't so afraid to upset people, I could have just asked, hey, can I go practice in there? I'm sure they would have said yes. But I think it's nice to just see like 3, 4 practice rooms that you can just go into and is very encouraged. It's just easier. So you get the check mark if you have the practice rooms very apparent and noticeable. Were they pro play? Was it very clear that they want you to try out the guitars and play those guitars? And I'm not gonna give them a check mark. Specifically this sign right here, it's in Portuguese. If you translate it, it doesn't feel like it's pro play. If you can't touch the guitar, you can't play the guitar. So big X for them on this one. However, the next thing on my list, there's some redemption here. So how's the staff? The staff was awesome. Now, I've been there a couple times. I've bought some equipment there, and every time I've gone there, the staff has been super helpful, super kind. In fact, when I was trying the guitars, just as I would get done to okay, time to try the next guitar, the dude was right there. So he would walk away when I'd play, but when I wanted to switch guitars, he was right there.
The company bylaws require me to open the floor to shareholders for statements either for or against this buyout plan. Does anyone wish to make a statement?
Dismantling this company would be an insult to a great man.
Oh, you scared me.
It is an unspeakable outrage, and it cannot be allowed to happen.
The staff was awesome. You're gonna have no problems getting help if you go to Luddy Music. Do they carry headless guitar strings? I asked, and no, they do not. Okay, now what you've been waiting for. What was the coolest guitar in Porto? This is a tough one. The Telecaster felt pretty good. If I was like buying a guitar for sound, I think that'd be the one I'd go with. But the Dan Electro, to me, that one popped the most, and I think it's the coolest guitar in Porto. I felt that it sounded good, it wasn't overly expensive, and I thought it looked cool. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you found that informative and fun. Please subscribe. Please let me know what you thought of the guitars. Whatever. Anyway, thanks.